Good morning, traders. As I said in my previous video, was not able to trade the open, but I did have some availability around 10:30, and I saw Xela, which was one of the top gainers and being traded with the most volume. So it met all my criteria, and I didn't like the entry. Although it looks, looking back, it looks like it was probably the best entry was that break of the high of pre-market, and after that pullback, that was the strongest entry. But and it would have worked out. It would have been a nice 2-hour trade. Let me just get to where that was. Like right here, broke through, pulled back, and then you could buy for the first 1-minute candle to break a new high, which would have been over here. And you would have been, I mean, this is like an easy 2-hour, I believe. Let me see. Maybe not actually. It looks like it pulled back a little bit here because the low is 91.5. It wouldn't have been much of a trade either. Basically a 4-cent per share gain. So you would have needed it to go, let's say you get in at 94, you needed to go to 98. And it does right there, very top. So you might have gotten filled, maybe not, or pull the order down just slightly when it went up to 98. And then the stop loss would have been, let's call it 91 cents. And did this hit 91? It did. This one dropped below. So if you didn't sell out here, you would have been stopped out there. But if you got filled here, you would have made 2R. But what I was looking at was, so that was a resistance line from the high of pre-market. There's a psychological resistance of $1. And that's where I think a lot of traders are looking to get into stocks like this, is when they break $1 and then when they hold $1. So that's what I was looking for. I just got stopped out. I might take one more trade on this, but we'll see. But yeah, so that's what I was looking for there was when this thing broke $1, which it did, and then I was going to get in for the first candle to make a new high after that. So I basically bought in. I was trying to get 107, and my 2R target was 119, and then my stop loss, I set it down a little bit lower than that $1 because I felt like there was a good chance it was going to bounce off that dollar, and it did. So I set it for 99 cents. And let me just see. I might take a trade here. This is a big candle though. The high is 103, so I'd have to see 104. But it looks like a lot of people might be coming in here with me. Just the way this candle's bouncing around. Oh, here we go. This should be a nice, easy 2R trade if this works out. This is a 3-cent spread, so I only need to see 6 cents. So I'll get in at 103. You see if I could do, I won't have time, I don't think. Try to catch that 103. There it is. Okay, I'm in at 103. Let me close out. Let's see, what is the target? 6 cents, so I need to see 109. Just make sure we don't miss it. I'll move the stop up in just a second here. So this isn't, I don't think it's going to make up for my loss. But I think this is going to go to 2R pretty easily. Volume is coming in. There are 2 million shares on that one candle. If I see 109 and it doesn't fill me, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Even if it pulls back here, it really shouldn't stop me out unless this thing is really weak, which it doesn't appear to be. So I shouldn't be worried now. I should just let this thing play out. It went to 108, so that's 1 cent away from my 2R target. That's pretty close. So my stop is below the low of this candle right here because I entered for the break of that candle. So my stop is 98 cents. Let me just double check my 2R thing. Well, I always put in the bottom of the candle. So my entry was 103 and the bottom of the candle is 0.99. So 111 actually. Shoot. Should sell, let me just sell half at 109 if I can get it. Let's see here. There's 109. Okay. I don't know if I got filled at 109. $108. Okay, pretty close. Should put in now the stop loss. Got to make sure to do this right. This thing gets to 111, I'll sell half again. Obviously I screwed up my 2R target there a little bit, but it was pretty close. Just want to give this thing some room because I feel like it's got potential. Put my stop exactly where I had it before at 98 cents. That's close enough. Then as these things make new highs and higher lows, then I'll bring the stop up. Okay, let's see. If it breaks 109, I'm going to sell half again. I got to get rid of this stop order quickly though. If it doesn't, let me just get rid of it now because I think it's going to be an issue if this thing breaks. Still got a lot of shares being bought. I just want to see it break 109 and then I'll take half off again. So it just appears that I got into it a little bit early. My entry was definitely more aggressive. But you know, it's really hard to predict when these things are going to break out. Still showing some strength. I don't like this double top here. That's a sign of weakness. Sold half again there. I was trying to get that 109, but okay, there's the 110. Probably still didn't get that. 109, there's the 109. Now I'm going to hold the rest. It's only 5 shares, but let me put in a stop. Let's do it for $1.05 right now. So now we're not going to give back any profit. So what is the low of this one? It is 107. Maybe Maybe I should do the low of the previous candle just to give it a little bit more room. So that's where it was, 105. So I'm probably still in the red because for the day, because that last trade had a much higher risk. So my my risk to reward ratio was still the 2 to 1. There we go. This thing's running now. Let's see where we are in the day. Yeah, we're still down $1.37, but definitely recouped a big chunk of the loss of the first trade. So it's a good thing I took this trade. I mean, it was a good setup. It wasn't just a revenge trade. It's just unfortunate my first entry was just aggressive, I guess. I mean, it's still a good setup, but we'll talk about it after this one is over. $1.5 million shares on that 1 minute candle, almost 2.5 million there, but that's a mix of buyers and sellers as indicated by the wicks. Buyers obviously drive the price up and then the sellers drive it down. Looks kind of like a recurring theme with this thing as far as the price action goes. This is looking like a pretty nice move. Yeah, this thing's just getting stronger and stronger. So I'm just following the bottom of the 1 minute candle. The low here is 110, so I'm at 109 just to give it a little more room. Still a lot of people buying this thing. Let's see where it is on the let's see, I just want to make sure I'm below this. Yeah, 109. So if this thing stops me out here, I don't know, I mean, maybe I should give it a little bit more room because it looks like it's due for a normal pullback. Let me pull it down. So I don't want to miss, if this thing takes like a bigger move, I don't want to miss it. I'm going to put it at 105, and that basically guarantees that I don't lose any money because, that covers me for the 2 cents of the sell fee and some because it's 5 times 2 cents. So let's see. I just wanted to see where this thing was volume-wise. Yeah, so it's number 2 volume traded stock right now. And it's the lowest float of these top 3 stocks. I don't recognize this one. That wasn't up there earlier. That's a really high float size anyway. And CTRM is a higher float as well, 129. So this is the highest volume, per free float share stock being traded right now. So it's basically the one to be in if you're a low float trader like I am. It's just unfortunate I got stopped out on that first trade, but it's the way it goes sometimes. So here's the pullback, and it looks like now we may go a little higher. So I would have been stopped out, yeah, because I think I was at 109, right? I was at 109. Would have been stopped out there. And this thing is due for a pullback after this big run, and it'll likely retrace about 50%, which is right about this 107, maybe to 106. So this should keep me in it if this thing continues higher after this pullback. That's the idea. And then, maybe I can get a little bit more profit from this trade. Otherwise, I'll be stopped out here at 105, and that'll be fine. I think I started with 40 shares, so this is about 1/10 of my position, which, you know, I'm happy holding that longer and letting this thing bounce around a little bit. Might get stopped out here. You can see a lot of buyers, when this thing dips down, a lot of buyers are coming in buying the dip, trying to catch it on the way back up. That's why you're getting these bottoming tails. So that increases the chances of this thing going up, but you know, it's right now at this point, it's more likely to stop me out, probably. So, but we'll see. Actually, I mean, the fact that this thing has got a higher low, but it's only halfway into the candle, is a good sign that this thing is going to reverse. But it really needs to break this level now, this 112, in order to continue higher. It might take a couple candles to do that, but that's what needs to happen. If that 112 level gets broken, I'm sure a lot of buyers will come in and continue to push this thing further. So 1.4 million shares on that candle. Most of them sellers, probably 1.2 million. All right, this doesn't look great. Some people might buy in for the break of this candle here. That's actually a pretty decent setup. So 111. If this thing hits 111, I bet we'll see a little pop. And it's like a 6-cent 2-hour trade, so 116 will probably be the next level of resistance. If this thing breaks, it needs to break that 110. And this thing's pretty strong. I mean, look, VWAP is way down there. This is a risky, very risky short. So we got a double top there at 110, which isn't good, but if it breaks that 110, it should really pop. But you basically have now 3 double tops in a row, so that's not a good sign overall, because these both went to 115 and they couldn't break. These both went to 112, couldn't break, and these both went to 110 and couldn't break. So this thing, yep, here we go. There we go. So I'm all done with that trade. So that was a good trade. The first trade, I think, also was a good trade. It just didn't work out. And it didn't help, you know, that this candle was so big, but you know, that it's one of my setups. It's part of my plan. So the only thing that's a little funny is that I kind of made up this resistance line based on the psychological resistance of $1. It's not a true area of resistance. So maybe that was maybe not such a smart thing to do, but I figured it was worth a shot. So let's see. So down $1.69 altogether because of that first trade. Actually, let me see if there's still anything left in this stock. I just don't like all these double tops. I don't like these longer candles. Because this is a near perfect ABCD set up. And there's no fake breakouts yet here. These are all, you know, hitting resistance at their high. So if it does break out, it's likely to continue higher. So I might take one more trade as soon as I see a 1 minute candle break through the previous high. And then this will be my last trade, whether it wins or loses. So right now 108 is an entry. Whoop, there it went. But that's not a good one because this has a lower low than the previous candle. And this is a double bottom. That's not so bad. But it looks like this thing is finding support here. But if it breaks it, obviously it's not. Support at 105, so stop loss would be 104. And then the break of one of these 1 minute candles. So basically it would be an 8-cent move that I'd be looking for at 116. That might be tough for this thing to get that high. There's a higher low. This is only a 2-cent spread here, so we're looking for a 4-cent move. $105 is definitely support so far. It just looks like volume isn't really there anymore. There we go. Okay, so 104 is the stop loss. Take profit. I'll adjust this in just a second. So that candle is 3 cents. So I'm looking for 6 cents. 108 plus 6 is 114. Let's go for that. I like that it's below the previous high. Gives it a better chance of getting filled. Looks like volume's coming in nice and strong. If this thing gets near the 114, I might pull it down a little bit. So broke through this top here. Definitely not as much buying volume as before. This move is not looking quite as strong. Might get stopped out. So if this trade fails, then that means we are officially in the backside and we can't take any more trades. Not that I would. I think this would be it for me anyway if it fails. So we'll see if this 105 acts as support and people come back in, but this is not, it's not looking good at all. It looks like I'm going to get stopped out because that was the chance for this thing to really run. And now people are going to have, traders are going to have less faith in this stock moving higher. So the likelihood, there we go, I got stopped out. So that's it for me. Again, I think that was worth a shot taking that trade, but you don't know if you don't know when you're in backside until the first attempt at new highs fails, because this is a classic ABCD pattern. So there's your A, B. Oops, trying to put in another trend line. Pullback is basically this area, this level. So A, B, C, and that's almost a perfect 50% retracement. So it's a really good, really strong setup. And then this thing should go higher than the B point, but it doesn't. It failed, and just a case of a good setup failing. So I mean, you could definitely argue that this stock is quite a bit extended at this point, but I was using this dollar level as an extreme support. So so technically that's kind of like part of a new move there. So I didn't consider it too extended because it was essentially the first move after it broke through the dollar, it pulled back, and then ran up once, and then this was the first big pullback. So I still think that was a decent trade to take. It just didn't work out. So I guess that's it for me today. See where my total loss is now, 319. So still well under my max loss of about $5. And unfortunately, just adding to the red week now, but that's part of day trading. Still green on the month, I'm sure, but not by that much now. Probably about $5 green on the month. 639. So well, we're just trading Xela. All right, so that's it for me. All done for the day. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be here for the pre-market and the market open. All right, guys, let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.